Y'all already know it is Tuesday, so it's Life of a DJ Entertainer. You know, it's DJ Ragtop in the building. It's Ken J, your host, of course. So, DJ Ragtop, freak, I forgot to put that. Freak. How are you feeling mentally, man? What's
I'm feeling
good?
awesome. I'm like, look, today is a great day. I'm all hype and excited because today is my actual anniversary day.
Happy
I know we're
anniversary.
celebrating all the thank you. We're celebrating the whole week. So today is the actual day. So I've been kind of excited ever since I woke up this morning, and I can't wait because I know my wife she's gonna get hit with another surprise today at work, and then we're going out to eat tonight. So, but yeah, we're celebrating all this week, and then we're going on a little trip on the weekend. So yeah, we're celebrating big time.
I love it. I love it. I love how you celebrate your wife. Happy 25th anniversary to you and your beautiful wife, for sure. I was looking at the video that you put up when she was coming in. Somebody was singing.
Right.
Like I really like that video. Like I was just really looking at the whole, you know what I'm saying, the whole video with her walking in, the person singing and everything like that. I like that. Like it was just like a old school type of feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I like that. And y'all been best friends since y'all was 12 and 13 years old. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you feel me? You had the puppy love. Yeah, like yeah, I like how you were celebrating your wife. Like the first day, I saw you send her some edible arrangements.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and then
saying?
she getting one to get like I got it set up, and it's funny. I got one set up where she got one yesterday. She's getting a bigger one today with a happy anniversary balloon, and then tomorrow she's gonna get the biggest one, which she can share with her coworkers.
Man, listen, you are an amazing human being, man. Like Mario, when I tell you I smile, like you don't understand. Like I was showing my partner like the picture of you and your wife that y'all had took or whatever. You was in your tux, she was in her dress. I
Right,
showed her
that's our
that
wedding
picture.
picture. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm like, man, look at Mario, look at young Mario, look at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just happy. I just love seeing people flourish in their relationships, and I'm just happy she's blessed to have you. You're an amazing human being. I just love how you're excited to take her out to dinner tonight. Like you just excited. So
Yeah,
that's the energy. Shout out to your wife, Kathy. You know what I'm saying? Big energy. Let's go, Mario. You ain't playing. I see you.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Ready.
Already. How already it's love here. Black love matters. Let's go. You dig? All right. So tell the people what we talking about today, Mario.
Well, today I had an interesting conversation with a few couple of DJs for last week or so, and I know I kind of talked about this before, but I want to talk about the marketing of a DJ. And I want to kind of explain to people how I came up with my prices and how a DJ, if you really want to be true to your customer and you want to support the network, or I should say support the market, I'm going to break it down and explain. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is the deal, technically the deal that my customers get is pretty much one of the best deals because I try to stay within the same average cost of what the market is. So what I want to do is kind of explain it and then also explain how my price is a little bit lower than other DJs is because I kind of have a set standard and the only thing that changes that standard is when I get new equipment.
Okay.
So I want to share that with everyone and I'm gonna go ahead and pull up this slide real quick.
All right. All
Let's see
right.
here. Let me get this thing set up on this side. All right, slideshow.
Good morning to everybody that's tuning in. I see it's 4 people watching. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope all is well.
Okay, so I'm trying to hit this slide. Okay, here we go. Share. I
Take
always get
care.
this confused with Zoom. Okay. All right.
All right. Here it goes.
All right. So pretty much, I want to kind of explain this to people in general so they understand um, that when an actual DJ comes up with their prices and they like with for me for example, my prices I basically have a set standard formula
Mm-hmm.
how I come up with my prices, and by doing so, it kind of makes it easy for me to make adjustments to my prices every year. So first thing we're going to talk about is the average cost. So this is what I want people to understand. Okay. First thing first is in the United States of America, the average cost for a wedding DJ is $1,000. Now that $1,000 is only just the DJ services, nothing additional, nothing extra. That's pretty much the basic average cost for a DJ. Now, what Wedding Wire when they put these numbers together, what they did was they based it off of how much the customer paid. So to me, I have to go back and look deep into this thing, and I found out that the average cost that what people were paying, so that included all the services that a DJ was offering, not just DJing service. So a lot of people misinterpreted this actual slide. Is if you go back and you read the article, it pretty much says that this is what the average cost that people were paying for a DJ. So that means that DJ probably came with additional things, but because Wedding Wire didn't go in and actually explain it, it doesn't tell you if it was just the DJ services or the all the services that DJ that offers. So that's why I kept it to where okay, me looking at it and reading the article on this is the actual cost that people were paying for the full DJ services that the DJ was providing. So I want to kind of break that down and explain it because a lot of people say no, that's just the DJ service. No, that's all the services that DJ provided. So that's so as you can look at these prices, um, lower range is 450 or less. Average is 1,000, and then the upper is over 2,000. Now, most couples spend between 780 and 1495. Now, my prices for weddings, and I'm gonna actually show that slide here towards the end, is my price for wedding go from 750 to 950 for a wedding. That's if it's local. That doesn't include travel or anything. That's if it's a local. So my actual average is right within the average of the United States. So then I have people, oh, that's the USA, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, let me break it down by my area then. So just so people understand. So here and what they've done here is for North Carolina, they use the capital of the state. So in this case, Raleigh is the capital. So they based everything off of Raleigh prices. The average cost for weddings in North Carolina for a DJ is $950. What was the number I just said for my prices? I said from 750 to 950, right? So from here, that kind of explains that I'm right within the range that most people playing starting at 750 and it goes high as 1295. Now, for me to go above 950 is I would have to do a lot of traveling or travel over technically over 100 miles over from my location, and that's how that price come up. So, first thing first is a person before you start to look at the market or put together a market for yourself, understand what the market is and what it's about. So, this is the market information here. Now, this is one of the things that I use to break down for my standard costs. Is for me, I work at 8 hour day for a regular DJ setup, and I charge $50 per hour just for my DJ services, just as a DJ. So when you break that information down, you have your local regular event, your general event is like okay, it's 8 hours, 2 hours for setup, and it's gonna be less than 2 hours for breakdown, but I always just round up to 2 hours for breakdown, and then 4 hours of entertainment. So the customer is paying $400 just for my services for average cost. For local wedding day service celebration, A wedding, most of the time, most weddings are anywhere between 10 to 12 hours. So what I did was I said, okay, 11 hours, um, because sometimes I'll get done early, sometimes I'll get done late. So I just said, okay, average cost 11 hours is about time, how much time I need to do a wedding. So based off of that information, I go through and I break it all the way down by the hours, and I come up to 550. So with these two prices, for my regular events is 400, and for my actual weddings is 550. So that's just based off of DJ services, just me being a DJ. Then I go here and I calculate the equipment. Now, in order to stay in business, you have to account for the equipment and the things that you use, the products, the everything you need in order for you to be operational. So what I do is I take a 2% of the actual cost of the equipment that I use. So if I actually have to use, like in this case, a general event breakdown, it kind of shows that all the pretty much I spent like most of the equipment that I use is about 15. Oh, that's wrong. $15,000, which I see it here. It's wrong on the slide, but yeah, it's $15,000. So it's $15,000 of equipment. So you take 2% of that, and that's $300. When I do my weddings, it's $20,000 worth of equipment. So I take 2% of that, and it's 400. So then those two prices come to the next slide, and it's broken down. So what I do is I add the work hours plus the cost of the value of the equipment, and that's where you come up with your basic packages. So like my general basic package is 700, and for my wedding it's 950. And so those are my numbers that I use, and those are the kind of like the standard average numbers I use, and then I kind of break it down from there. So then here you go. These are pretty much again base numbers. Is you're going to sit back and you're going to look at these numbers on a monthly basis. And I tell people this: if you want to pay a monthly price, if you book me 12 months in advance and you want to pay a monthly price, it makes it easy and simple. So like for me, if a customer gets the general package, they can charge, they can pay $50 a month, and it actually equals up to the rest of their payment. Same thing with the wedding, $71 for the biggest package. So I make it easy and simple for people to see and understand how the prices come about. And then when you're trying to establish a market, you have to understand the boundaries of that market. And as long as you stay within the boundaries of that market, you're good. Now, some people, they want to go back and they want to say this and that and so forth. But here, I'm going to go back to the slide. Wedding Wire has pretty much already set the standards by giving people the average cost of what people charge. So, like for a DJ in North Carolina, the starting price is low as they can go lower than 450, but 450 is kind of like the number that a lot of people charge for weddings. I've yet to see GJs. I think I've seen maybe one or two that charge less than this for weddings, but 450 is kind of like your boundary, and then to go up to 19 or more. So this is just one of those things that people have to understand is that I stay within my boundaries of the market, and I try to keep it fair. So now we go back and we look at the packages. And what I've done is I designed my packages based off those numbers. Now, this one is a basic package, and I try to make it simple and easy to where this is an affordable package. So I only charge $500 for a basic event. And the only additional thing they get normally is like you get a selfie station, you get 8 lights. It's an easy setup. So this doesn't take me long to set up. So I'm able to save the customer a few dollars there. Then we go up to $600, which is the blue light special. And then the general event package, which what the numbers that you saw was, this is pretty much a mix of everything. And this was $700. This is a $750 just to do the wedding reception and cocktail hour. And then this is the basic breakdown for equipment. And I tell people, the two prices. The reason why I have two prices is that in some cases there's two different scenarios. One scenario is when everybody is actually set up to do their event at one location. So the new price is $800, and if it's in two different locations, then it's $950. So that means I have to travel from one place to the other place. So I charge additional $150 to go to a separate location to set up, and then $800 for the primary. So those are pretty much the breakdown and the understanding of the prices. And I want people to understand. Um, I want people to understand that the market that I put together is. Uh-oh, did something happen? The market that I put together is what's pretty much after I sit down and I calculate the cost of the equipment and things in that nature. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So so that's pretty much was the whole rundown. And I just wanted to run through that real quick so then people understand that I do the research, I actually check into the market prices, and I get a good understanding of what that is. So as a DJ, that's the prices that I charge. Now, what people have to understand is that you get what you pay for. Um, so if you pay for a DJ and that DJ, he or she is great, that's awesome. But like I want to kind of explain that because I had a lot of DJs they're confused in reference to how the market it works, and depends on how you run your business. Like again, operational costs. That's one thing I don't have to worry too much about because my operational cost is extremely low. It only costs me $300 to run my business. Some of these other DJs, that's another thing. That's another factor in the price, and that's why I want people to understand is that that's one of the things you'll see why prices go up and down when it comes to DJs because some DJs have employees. Some have laborers to where they have to actually help them set up their equipment, so they have to get paid. So these prices that you saw are just your basic prices, but like in some companies and some individuals, they have to charge extra because of like they have employees. They have three people working on that show. So how much you think a person will get charged an hour to do that? It's like $15 an hour, and if they're there for 10 hours, that's $150 right there.
Yeah.
So that kind of justifies the prices, and I try to explain to people that I base everything off of how I operate, and I can explain and account for every dollar I charge my customers. And as a DJ, you should be able to do the same. Some DJs they charge outrageous prices just because they see other people do it. But to me, I actually account for my actual costs. I account for every dollar that the customer is paying for. And in the same time, that customer, believe it or not, is contributing for the next customer to have a better experience. So that's how I operate and that's how I put my things together. But as far as the market, I want people to understand every market will always be ups and downs when it comes to prices because you have some they'll cut corners to do things, and you'll have some that do things the right way, and then you have some that just they live a lifestyle that they want to be charged people more money. And so, as a customer, you need to really look into what you're getting out of your packages. You need to really pay close attention to what that DJ is offering, because I've had some DJ, and this is one of the biggest things I hate is when a customer calls me up, asks me if I'm available,
Mm-hmm.
and then they ask the price, and I tell them the price. Oh, well, such and such charges only $350. Then why are you talking to me? If that was a better deal, go with that better deal. If you really want to piss a DJ off and make sure they're not available for you, is to do that. You can't compare prices because you don't know what the DJs are going to provide. Now, if I have a DJ that's providing the exact same stuff that I'm providing, and he or she's going to charge you $350, then you need to go with that person. That's just how I feel. It's like when you try to throw a low ball price out there, and you're trying to get a DJ to bring their prices down, all you're doing is making a fool out of yourself. And I'm a certain point blank because most DJs, what we'll do is if you have a DJ that's been in this business for a while and you try to lowball them, they're going to say, "Oh, all of a sudden I'm unavailable." And that's how people. And the thing is, if you're trying to, this is not a yard sale where you can bargain with a person to get something. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's what happens sometimes. I know when I first started business, oh well, such and such, he only charges $150. Well, that's a great deal. Why aren't you go with such and such? I mean, that's what I say. Don't. And I don't know why customers do that, but it's like you're wasting your time when you do that. Because now, don't get me wrong, there's some DJs that are desperate and they'll come down off their price just to get the job, get the event. But me, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm not local. I'm not lowballing nobody. If you come to me and if you use that verbiage towards me, you just put a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm just right off the back, I would probably come up with a way and say, look, I'm not available. Yeah, I don't think I'm the right DJ for you. You probably go with that DJ that's going to charge you $150.
$150.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't understand why they do that as well. But I also got a question to ask you because I seen both of your prices for one location and two locations, right? So you only will travel only 50 miles away, or will you do more, or how does that go? Like, are you
Well, see,
charging more for mileage if you go 50 plus miles?
yes, I actually do charge. I charge is like it's more of a 200. That's why you see it goes up $200
Okay.
because what happens, and this is where the mileage cost. Like, okay, the IRS, I think they charge. I think it's 56 cents. I want to say it's 56 cents a mile, and that's what IRS does as far as when it comes to traveling. If you're one of those individuals that have a business where you travel, you can claim up to 56 cents a mile. So what I do is based off that rate, I use those numbers to come up with the mileage. So keep in mind mileage, and then like me, if it's greater than 2 hours worth of travel, I have no choice but to get a hotel. So
Yeah.
then I also have to pay for the hotel because most of the time, if it's somewhere like for example, I have one event that's going to be in Augusta, Georgia. Um,
Okay.
in Augusta, Georgia, I actually went down, I did the pricing, and I charged that travel fee. So the way it worked out, she's pretty much getting the package to where she's only going to pay less than $1,000, and that includes the travel. But that's where, based off of how she wanted her package to be designed, but based off of where she's going to be providing her service, or I should say, her waiting net. Just like I had
Okay.
someone is looking at hiring me to do an event in Florida. Again, I've done events in Florida. Like I've done events, I've gone all the way out to San Diego, California. And when you do stuff like when you travel that far now, that's a whole nother ball game. Because like when I did that trip, pretty much they paid for the hotel, they paid for my airline ticket, and then they also paid for the equipment rental that I needed. So all I
Okay.
had to do was just show up with some of my equipment, and they had me there for 3 days.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
so that was a great trip. That was probably one of my better out of town events. When I go to Virginia, because I know Virginia is a couple like between Atlanta and Virginia, I do 2 to 3 events there per year. So most of the time when I go to Atlanta, I have family in Atlanta, so that again that makes it better for the customer because I don't have to pay for a hotel, but I'm able to go home. When I'm DJing in Virginia, it's like I go where I'm like with Hampton Roads area, I stay on the base. Um, and
Yeah.
and see that's where a lot of things go into places that when you go to these different places, you have to take security into kind of consideration. I have a trailer. When I take that trailer, that doubles up the mileage because pulling a trailer with all that equipment, like I can drive my truck from here to there and it doesn't eat up but so much gas. But when I'm pulling a trailer, which is additional weight, it eats up more gas. So those
Okay.
prices that you saw there would just give people an average cost of what it's going to cost if I have to travel out of town.
Okay. See, I was just thinking. So I'm glad that you know what I'm saying, explained that to me. So basically, if you do have to go out of town and you do have to, you know what I'm saying, get on a plane, like it's ways that you're able to get the equipment that you need instead of
Right.
bringing like hauling all that equipment. That's
Right.
what I want. Yeah.
Because like me, I mean, I haven't done a Destiny wedding yet, but like right now, that's the thing right now is I'm working on a kit that allows me to take the basic equipment that I need to do an event. and believe it or not, the Bose S1 speaker systems is part of that kit. So like if I had to travel, I would take that kit, which is the two S1s and a sub, a small portable sub, the L1 sub, and or I should say sub one, and I would actually ship that with everything as I need, because like I actually designed my truck. I think you saw the pictures where I added on that additional piece to my truck to where I don't have to
Okay.
pull a trailer, so I'm able to pack everything within the truck if I have to travel, and that makes it easier because of the parking situation. Like when I have to go downtown, especially in Raleigh, I can actually maneuver in and don't have to worry about parking or trying to find a place for a parking spot for a trailer.
Yeah, like downtown Raleigh kind of sucks with the parking,
Yes,
Yeah,
because
so
even if I have the trailer, it sucks because in most
yeah.
cases you got to park almost 2 blocks away from the venue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a lot with that. So I just like how you broke down everything, because I was just curious just to know how that would go if, but you explained to like when you went to California, and what I'm saying. So I get that. So yeah, thank you for that, because I ain't even know.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things is that really people have to understand is that when you choose a venue, it's a little more difficult to handle. Like me, there's this one venue in Wallace, North Carolina, and I do not like this venue. It's a beautiful venue, but I do not like this venue because of how difficult it is to maneuver the equipment into their venue. Once upon a
Mm.
time, I know in order to get to the venue, I would have to maneuver through the kitchen just to get to
Oh.
the service elevator, and then take the service elevator all the way up. Just like the Wells Fargo building down in Raleigh, is I used to hate going to that building, is because the loading platform is so high up to where I can't use the loading platform. I have to actually go up. I have to take everything out and maneuver around the loading platform, go to the service elevator, and then go up. And back then, when I had, like, now it wouldn't be that bad, but back then I had to make 4 trips just to get my equipment all the way up to the penthouse or to and I used to hate that because it's like it takes a long time. You're talking about like things like 36, 37 um, floors.
Floors.
So just imagine you have to ride a service elevator, which is the most slowest elevator out there, to go upstairs
Mm.
to that thing. And it just
Mm.
anytime I have to go to an elevator to get to the venue, it's always going to be it's time consuming.
I don't like the elevator anyway, but so I got stuck on the elevator, but that's another day, another story.
Right.
But so the service elevator, so 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 the service elevator is for like what? Like for
It's more so
people.
the service elevator is more is what they use like if the people that are providing the services, like let's say room service or anything like that,
Got
or
you.
if you're taking up certain equipment, is big enough, the extra service is big enough to handle more equipment. It's designed for you to take equipment, not for people to ride in.
Got you.
So it's
Understood.
more so moving
Understood.
equipment and things to certain floors. So
Got you.
that's what service elevator, and that it's like instead of, because most venues don't want you to use the person. I mean, you should say the customer or the guest elevators, because does look kind of tacky. But so they have the service elevator, and some of these venues, or I should say, some hotels on top of that, the service elevators are in the worstest places.
Okay. Okay. Got you. Got you. So that's basically, you saying, you explaining your prices and breaking it down. So I love how you break down things, and people are like, yo, there's nothing in the red. Like, you explain everything. You know what I'm saying? You go in details and everything like that. A lot of people don't do that. So that's an A
It's
plus for you, sir.
Well, thank you. And see, and that's one of the things also is that like that $50 an hour that I charge as
Mm-hmm.
a DJ, that also accounts for my operation costs. So
Okay.
technically, so let's say if I do 8 hours, like let's say my operational cost is $300 a month. Okay, that pays for my advertisement stuff that I have. It pays for, because technically the only stuff that I'm paying for is advertisement, and then the cost it costs to run my iPads for my like my different for broadcasting and also for the selfie station.
Okay,
So
okay.
between my website, which all that falls under advertisement, so my website, my little like couple of business cards I purchased here, the digital card that I have, the and then actually the what's the other thing? Not the website, because website's the only thing I pay for really. That's marketing. Everything else is more so service stuff I use for the event. So between the cell phone, the iPad services, that's all together. Um, that's pretty much all together of my operational costs. And
Okay.
then like the monthly price of that part, like for some of my equipment maintenance here and there, but that $300 kind of covers everything.
Yeah,
Now
yeah, I
some other
heard.
people they got operational costs because some people actually have it to where they have their own vehicle and they have to pay for that vehicle, that truck, that trailer. But all my stuff is paid in full as far as the trailer that I use, which is part of the company.
Okay. Okay, okay. Well, hey, you explained everything and you already booked for 2023.
Right now, yeah, that's that started becoming a sore spot for a lot of people. I am down to 5 Saturdays. It keeps kind of like flipping back and forth on something. I got one person that's changing their date to the 2024.
Okay.
So that right now I'm still waiting on that one. So technically, if they change their date, then there'll be 6 Saturdays open. But right now, I only have 5 Saturdays open for 2023. And I stress that to people. I've been saying it. I've been yelling, putting it out there to people because, like, if people are trying to schedule something for 2023, they better jump on it quick. But at this point in time, it might be too late for me. But I would highly recommend it to other people that might be available because I'm actually got 6 events already booked for 2024.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that you listen, you book Mario. I mean, he's booked. I mean, if y'all want to know about his services, about him being a DJ, y'all could go to, type in DC2DW. It breaks down, yeah, he tells you he got the phone number up here. He has 5 stars. You can check his reviews out. It's nothing but positive things going on. Like, with his Google review summary. Um, I'm looking at it right now. It's like just amazing. Like these reviews, like, yo, DJ Mario was a great find. Mario was the best DJ I have ever had. Mario was beyond perfect. So this is the standard. This is the quality you'll be receiving from him, and y'all already know it's quality because he already booked
Yeah.
in 2020, bro. It's 2022, bro, and you already, bro. I love it. I love it. Hey, I love it, man. I totally love it, man. So Mario, what advice would you give other DJs, right? To um like breaking down, numbers, how you do it. Like, what advice would you give them to, what I'm saying, make it easier for customers to comprehend how the pricing goes?
Well, one of
If
the
that makes
things, and this is one of the things I tell our DJs is that they need to sit down and look at, and this is one of the things is like, and I heard this thing on the radio, is that people are willing to teach you the business, but they're not willing to teach you how to stay in business. And
mm,
as a DJ, the profits that you make, you got to be able to contribute money back into getting better equipment to maintain your equipment. So when you're charging that $350, that 450, whatever it is you're charging, you need to take a certain percentage of it and put it back into what, like, because like me, like I said, I take 2% of what I use, and I say, okay, this is what I'm charging the customer. So that money that I'm getting back is money to where I can go out and purchase, let's say the Cold Spark machines.
Yeah.
for example. So I just finally broke down and got the CoSpark machines. So those have been added into my inventory. So that's one thing. That's growth. That's how you grow your business. Is you have to be able to keep up with what is changing in the industry. And if you don't have the allocation, the money allocated to do so, you're going to stay stuck to where you're just taking a controller and two speakers. So you got to be able to contribute your money in. Now, if you are, and see, like, and I say that for a full-time DJ, is you have no choice but to set up a standard on how your money is going to pay to keep your company running. You pay yourself, and then you pay your company, to where you're able to keep your stay in business. Part-time DJs, that's a little bit different because they're working a full-time job and they're just doing the DJ thing on the weekends, so they don't have as much time allocated to do it. So they still got to come up with a system to where they keep the money coming in, flowing to where they're able to invest and buy more equipment.
Got you. Got you.
But
Got you.
equipment is critical. It's like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with if it works. Don't if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. But at the same time, understand what you're getting. And then when it comes to your customer, um, the biggest problem I'm starting to see is in this, and this just this happening just recently. Within the last 3 weeks, I think I've had 5 DJs cancel their service at the last minute. Now I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's a bad connection with the customer, if it was a bridezilla, a groomzilla, or whatever it was. But I've had like there was one wedding this past weekend where they did find another DJ, but it was just one of those things to where the DJ um, pretty much said they weren't going to be able to do it. And I start to wonder what type of DJs are these customers dealing with to where they can't keep their word. One of the biggest things I tell people up front is if there is no contract in place, that's a red. That's like a warning sign right there off the back. Is a contract is based to validate and make sure you have a DJ for your event, and that's something that I don't understand because like for 3 weeks I've had, like I said, 5 events where 5 6, well, technically I'm gonna say 5 because the other one really didn't count. That I understood that situation a little bit different, but you had 5 DJs that actually said, "Oh, by the way, I can't make it," and they did it within a 2 week time frame. That puts the customer in a bind, and it's like, and I get those phone calls. I get those phone calls at the last minute. Hey, my DJ canceled on me, and we're trying to find another DJ. Um, those DJs that are doing stuff like that, don't. You don't need to be a part of this industry. I'm gonna say it point blank. If you can't, ma'am, sir, you can't keep your word to your customers, then you don't need to be in this business. Now, if it's a situation where the customer comes hostile, that's a whole different story. Because like I've had a situation where I was within 6 days of the wedding and actually had to cancel because they became hostile. A
Mm.
hostile customer to me is like, you're not going to talk to me sideways. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way and think I'm going to provide services for you. So if you mistreat me, I promise you, you're going to have to go find another DJ. And that's something that a lot of DJs now, a lot of us that we won't take an event within 14 days because most likely when we have to do an event and it's last minute, there's a good reason why it's last minute. Either they did something bad, they didn't properly plan it, or so because that says a lot about a person. Is if you're trying to hire a DJ at the last minute for an event, you didn't properly plan that event. And the chances of a DJ coming into a situation like that being a bad event are very high. Anytime you take an event that's last minute, I noticed that all back in over the years, I look at all the events I took that were last minute events, and most of those turn out to be bad events. And when I
Mm.
say bad, they were bad because of all the extra work I had to do to make it successful.
Okay. Okay.
So that's just something to consideration that I tell people all the time is don't put yourself in a situation where you have to settle for somebody.
I feel you. I feel you.
But these DJs out here, I mean, That to me that was just a lot. 5 DJs cancel at the last minute, within a 3 week time frame. That's making the industry look bad. And a lot of DJs have to understand that the stuff that they do, it reflects all of us. Now, can we account for what you did? No. Can we justify certain things, or can we kind of overcome that? Oh yes, most definite. Because most time after I listen to the customer story, um, we can as a DJ, we can figure out if it was a bad thing with the customer or it was a bad thing on the DJ side. But most of the ones that happened recently were either the DJ double booked themselves, or that DJ was not an actual DJ. They were just somebody just doing it as an extra gig on the side.
Mm, that's yeah. I so listen. They had when this happens and they just cancel at the last minute. Are they giving the money back to the customers?
I hope so. I mean, in most cases, they should, because like if it's the way, that's why it's important to have a contract. Because in my contract, if I cancel, if I actually have to cancel services, which is very rare, but if I have to cancel, they're getting all their money back. Because like I said, there's 2 times I actually cancel an event, and it was because they were bridezillas,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just that I don't want their money. I don't want anything to do with them, so I have no problem giving the money back. But again, that's in my contract. If I cancel because of whatever reasons, I am required to give them a full refund back.
For sure. Hey, I respect the fact that even though, what I'm saying, they were bridezillas, you like, man, you can have your money back. I don't want your service. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
you don't, you not respecting me. So yeah. Cause that bridezilla is true. Like you seen the whole TV show is really true. So,
And the thing is, there's only in the time I've been in this business, I've actually only had to deal with 4 bridezillas, and 2 of them I actually did the weddings, and they turned out to be terrible. And then the other 2, I wish them, whoever did the good luck, because it just like the mindset, um, of how selfish a person can be. It blows my mind. It really blows my mind, because it's one of those things to where if me, I'm a type of person, I'm gonna do everything in my power to help you, to try to help you, to try to explain things to you to where you have the perfect day. I'm not going to give you bad advice. I'm not going to try to mislead you into something that's going to set your wedding day up for failure. And some of these bridezillas, the 2 that I actually canceled, was they just had such a very negative outlook on their wedding day, to where, why do you even want me to be a part of it? If you want you're like, if you're trying to set things up for failure, I don't like failure. I'm
right.
not going to fail. I'm not designed to fail.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not something I mean, the way I work and way I operate is, I go into an event with the utmost way of trying to make your day the perfect event. If I can't see your event being, I ain't gonna say perfect, but at its best, then I'm going to let you know that I'm not the right DJ for you. When it comes
That's
to weddings, there's a lot of moving parts in weddings. And so, as a DJ, as a DJ entertainer, a full time DJ entertainer, my job is to do everything in my power to make your day perfect. So if you're fighting against it and you don't even, and that's what most of the time, most of these bridezillas I've had in the past, they were setting themselves up for failure. And I said numerous times, hey, you might want to change this. You might want to do this. But again, they only focus on themselves and they do what they do. And hey, I had one bridezilla, she was so selfish to where she didn't care if she was an hour, 2 hours late.
wow.
So she's like, they're waiting for me. I mean, that's the attitude that some of them had in the past, is that it was like one, it was only one. I'm gonna say all, but I'm gonna say one, to where I don't care if I'm late. They'll wait. And that wedding was over early because the guests got up after they ate their food, they got up and they left. And it's like, as a DJ, it is sad because we will see it coming. Is that we'll sit back and we'll see a wedding, and I stress this to people: if you make your guests miserable, you got them out there in the hot sun for additional hour. In most cases, they're going to eat your food and leave because they're miserable. They've been out in the sun, they've been sweating up a storm. They have on a nice clothing. If they had on the makeup or hair, it's all ruined because of the heat. So at that point in time, they're miserable. They just want to go home. They're not thinking about your wedding day anymore. So that's one of the things that I tell people all the time: make your guests comfortable. Don't put your guests in a bad situation. If you put them out in the sun and then you have nothing for them to drink or eat during the cocktail hour, what do you think they're gonna do?
Leave after they might leave then, but they might stay to eat and then leave.
Right. Yeah. So people like to say, if you make your guests comfortable, then everybody has a better time. Everyone has a good time. But when you have a selfish outlook on, you don't care if they're melting in the sun for 2 hours, then that's something to where I just like, okay, it's already bad. They're going to be out there for 30 minutes prior to the wedding starting. Then the wedding itself will take roughly about 20 to 30 minutes more. So just imagine if you start an hour late.
Man,
you see yourself sitting in the sun, there's 90 something, 92, 93, 94, 95 degrees, and you're out there and exposed to the sun.
Yeah, and it might be elderly people as well. So I most definitely, because when you planning your wedding, you most definitely have to take the people that's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, at the wedding in consideration. Like, that's the most important part. Of course, it's your day, but people are coming there to celebrate you as well. So make sure that they're comfortable while, right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning a lot from you, Mario. Like, it's no way when I get married, there's no way I should fail, because you done taught me everything I need to know about making sure that the people closest to me are treated right at the wedding.
Right. And that's what I say. I mean, I sat back over the years and I've seen where people take care of their guests and their event turns out to be the best thing ever. And then I see where people just don't care about their guests. And I seen most of the time the events that end early for me is because of how they treated their guests. Sometimes it's a little bit different, but most of the time, like every time I see where people have to sit out in the sun greater than 1 hour, they most of the time are going to leave early. And that's more so my outdoor weddings. Even if you're in a venue that there's no AC, that stays hot or stays cold, your guests are not going to stay. Once the moment your guests become uncomfortable, they're going to leave. That's why it's critical that the venue that you choose is guest friendly. You know, when I say guest friendly, it's like it has the proper AC, a heat unit in it. It has the proper bathrooms to where you ain't got to wait in line just to use one bathroom. You know, a lot of people, that's what, like, a lot of people don't understand is that a venue is based on the number of bathroom stalls that you have. So, like, if you got a venue that's designed for 300 people, but there's only one bathroom, you know, how many guests you think are going to stay? Which, of course, that's never going to happen, because most of the time that's all part of the breakdown of how many people they can have is the full, like, service of the building. So I'm just throwing out some crazy stuff right now, but I'm just saying in general that you want a building that is very comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, because I'm sitting here thinking about what you're saying with that bathroom, because that bathroom is very important, because you want to be able to, you know what I'm saying, if like, how about 5 or 6 people got to use the bathroom at the same time? They should be able to boom, 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 walk in. Right. You feel me? Like, it should be like like a place where it's like maybe like 5 stars and this men bathroom, women bathroom, all together is 10 individual stalls. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Was it
So
even?
yeah.
I'm gonna take it one step farther. Is you don't want to go to the venue, and then your guests go in the bathroom, and there's a roach there to greet them at the bathroom.
You said a roach?
Roaches, not just a roaches.
Roach.
I mean, again, that
bro.
that's like if you go in, you got a roach greeting you at the door. Oh, the stall number 2 is open. You know, that type of scenario going on. That's not good. God forbid if you see a rat or a mouse.
Oh no, I'm out, bro. If I see a rat, I don't mess with rats. If I see a rat at an event, I'm taking my Do you at a wedding you supposed to take gifts or no?
Yeah, you do. I mean, some people do, yes.
Okay, because I mean you can see I haven't been to a lot of weddings. But so you take I'll go back because if I see a roach or a rat, that means you don't want that gift. So I'm gonna take my gift back too. And I don't even want nothing to eat.
But my thing is like people gotta pay close attention to the venue. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some great venues out there, everything, but when you go and you do a site visit, I know me and my wife went to go look at a venue this weekend, and I love the way they provide their services at that venue. Is that they don't want you to put a deposit down until you see the venue, and I can understand that. Went in there, beautiful presentation, beautiful tour. I mean, great. I mean, they did an outstanding job on presenting their venue. Most vendors or venues like got to the point where they're very busy, so they take a hit sometimes on customer service because how busy they are, or because they don't properly allow the customer to come in and see a building within a timely manner. What happens some of the times with some of these venues is that some of the venues actually have full-time jobs as well, so the only time they can show the venue is on the weekends. That kind of hurts customer service to a degree, but it just puts more on their plate. And that's just something, again, that customer service, providing details, that tour, things of that nature of just providing the right things, is giving the customer the proper information for them to make a good decision on what they want for their vision for their event. That's why, to me, it's critical. I have to hear the customer's vision. Tell me what your vision, and that's what I ask all the DJs. Find out what the vision is. Some DJs, they just show up and DJ and not even know what the vision is of the customer. And that's sad because, like me, I'm a type of person, I got to sit down and talk to the customer. We're going to have a meeting. We're going to talk about your vision. And then we're going to talk about how I can implement my services to support that vision. So I'm already planning your event with the first time that you meet me.
Right.
If I can't do that, if I sit down with a customer and I can't figure it out when I first meet them, then I probably have to come back and we'll probably have to have another meeting just for me to get a clear picture on what it is they want. But to all my DJs out there, understand what you're getting yourself into. Understand, like if you've never done a wedding before, and this is what's going on lately, is a lot of DJs have never done weddings before. They're doing DJ weddings for the first time. It is not your regular DJ event. You have to be a little bit more involved when you do weddings. And that's why I tell people all the time, wedding DJs do a lot more than your regular DJ.
For sure.
And then this thing about emceeing, I would tell this, my DJs, if you plan on being a DJ for a period of time, for a long period of time, you got to learn how to become a good MC. You really have to become a good MC. Hold on one second. I'm gonna answer this because this is my wife. I want y'all to hear this.
All right.
Hello.
Hey,
I'm online. What's up?
Oh, go ahead. I'm just calling to say hey and happy anniversary again.
Oh, happy anniversary! Did you? I thought you was calling for something else. Okay. Yeah, I'm on the podcast. Say hi.
Oh, hello.
Happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, happy anniversary.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
All right, bye. No, I thought she was calling because she got her second Elbow Ranger, so she hasn't got it yet.
Oh, that man, that's so cute, man. That's cute.
She has. I thought that's what she was calling for. And said, "Why'd you send me another one?" You know, I'll wait. But I guess she hasn't got it. And normally they deliver it yesterday around 1, so they probably do it around the same time.
Yeah, man, I love that though. He was like, "I'm just calling to wish that, man." Oh, Mario, I'm happy for you. I'll be excited. I love love. You know what I'm saying? I love love for sure. I love it. So, you ready?
That's
What? Where you? Can you tell where you going out to dinner tonight, or is it a surprise? Or
well,
can't
it's not.
tell?
Well, it's not a surprise. We're going to Uptown. Waffle. I think it's what is it? Uptown Waffle and Chicken. I think that's the name of it. It's Chef Judy's spot down right. It's not that far away from us, but that we loved. Like we ate there one time, and we loved it. So we use that as a special occasion location now.
Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope, yo.
But so we're going there tonight to celebrate our anniversary.
Okay. Are you gonna get her a cake or something? Or I mean,
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. That's the edible arrangements. We got
got you.
so she got one yesterday, she getting one today, and then she get one tomorrow. And then her bracelet and stuff like that. It actually I went and designed that and through Pandora, and
Yeah, I
that's gonna be
seen
here.
it.
That will be
I
here
seen
tomorrow. So she'll get gifts today, and then she'll get gifts tomorrow.
Hey, y'all hear Mario? He been married for 25 years.
25 years, yes.
25. And you
25 years.
see how he still light up about his wife. And that's amazing. I love that. You know, it's the love for me. So I get excited about love anyway, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about for real. So
I mean, the thing is, what I think I love about Kat is that we got each other's back. I mean, ever since even when we were friends, we always got to have each other's back. And like throughout this military, because it's funny, I say this because Kathy, when we were friends, she said she would never ever marry a military man. And to me, I agreed with her. I said, yeah, you shouldn't marry because this is so forth. Now we were friends. And then for us to get married, she married a military man. I let me know I was real special because I knew how she felt about it, and we got married anyways. And I knew how because I actually support how she felt about it. And throughout the time that I've been gone, deployed, she was a solid rock in the family. She's what maintained, kept the family together, especially when we had children. The stuff that she had to deal with on her own. I mean, I don't take none of that for granted because, for a mom to have to take care of the home by herself, even though I'm there, but I'm not physically there, that's a lot. And then her being a school teacher, things like that. So I look at everything that we've gone through, and throughout the whole process, she was solid. She was like a solid rock that kept us. I mean, kept us strong, kept us going. I mean, she's the foundation of this family. So
yeah,
that's something that you can't take that for granted.
for sure.
You really can't take that for granted.
Yeah,
And
because
over the years, like I mean, I've been so thankful. I mean, extremely thankful because it's like it's hard. Relationships these days, these marriages are very difficult and challenging. But with us, it's like even when I decided to retire from the military and go into this DJ business thing, she was like, I don't know, but we'll see. And so she supported me through it, and she actually contributed to the company, and she supported me. And I think that's what it is. And I think that's one of the main things about my company being as good as it is because I got the proper support. When you have a significant other that properly supports what you do and believes in what you do, it makes your business, it makes what you do even better.
I
And
totally
so with
agree.
Kathy, even though like a lot of people like you got a husband that DJ, they didn't understand it, but she's like, hey, he's a great DJ. This is what he loved because and then what's so funny is I gave up DJ when we got married. I sold all my DJ equipment. I had like at time I had 600 CDs. I had like 10 different speaker systems. I sold all that equipment because I said, you know what? I'm not going to be doing this because my focus is her. So I got rid of all my DJ equipment. So for me to be back in it, like here it is years later, as I got back into it and started, it was just like it was a lesson learned to where I'm mature enough to be able to love my wife and be with my family and run a business at the same time. So it says a lot. That's what I say. It really says a lot on how far how we came together, how we've grown together, how things have kind of like came together in a great way.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
without her support, this business would not be as successful as it is.
For sure. And my my dad was in the military for 21 years. My mom was a school teacher as well. So, when he was, stationed in different places or whatever, my mom, basically held down the fort as well. So, women wear all capes, you know what I'm saying? So I love it, you know what I mean? Military men. My dad was in the military, of course. So your dad was in the military too?
Right.
So, we already know how it is being military brats for real, because that's what we are. So,
but that's one thing about being in the military is like people who are married in the military, the odds are against your relationship surviving. So you have to have a very strong individual to understand what you do and what you're doing for the country. And it's like, again, it goes both ways to where you can't take that person for granted. I might have been deployed in a combat situation, living hell, but at the same time, I'm looking at here it is. She has to raise 2 children and go to a full-time job all by herself. So one of the things I learned is you can't say what I do is difficult than what you do. And that's in a relationship. You have to understand that everyone's challenge is different. And so what breaks up a wedding, or I should say a marriage in the military, is when it comes one-sided. And that one individual from either the left or the right side decides to take advantage or disregard what the other person is going through.
Hey, that's a whole message right there. You know what I'm saying?
It is. I mean, and I could talk for days about that, because I've seen so many relationships in the military fall apart because that one person either became selfish or that one person took the other person for granted. And that's something you can't do. You got to look at, like, when I was going out doing whatever missions I were doing in Afghanistan, I knew my wife was dealing with a lot of stuff here in the United States. And when we sit back and we talk, we never say one was more important than the other, because what we're both doing is important to our relationship.
Facts. And I love the way, that your eyes still sparkle for her. So that's everything. Yes. You know what I'm saying? When I hit 25 years in my marriage, my eyes still gonna be sparkling for my wife as well. My eyes gonna still be sparkling. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. And see, and I'm gonna tell you this. It's like, I'm so proud of my of Kathy, my wife, because I look back, it's like we were friends. I was there for her graduation from high school. I was there for her first graduation from college when she graduated for a bachelor's degree. I was there when she graduated from her master's degree, and I was there for her when she graduated with a doctorate.
Let's go.
So it's like I have seen her grow and become this. I mean, even back when we used to call her Bruce Lee because she used to kick people in the park. But back when we were kids, she always had this potential to be the best at what she does. And she was the homecoming queen, I think, twice in high school. I remember one, but I think she was for 2 years. She's a homecoming queen. When she went to St. Aug, she won the competition where she was a homecoming queen. So she's a homecoming queen, I think her freshman year. And then she also won a competition where Maya Angelou, she was able to go eat dinner with Maya Angelou because of a writing contest that she did.
Hold on. So wait a minute. She went to St. Aug?
She went to St. Aug.
I mean, hey, I went to St. Aug, fellow Falcon. Let's go.
Okay, so there you go.
Let's go. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I went to St. Aug too.
So it's like, I mean, throughout the years, because like I said, most of the stuff we always kept up. So this is stuff that I knew about her when we were friends. So of course, when we got married, it's like even more. So it's like everything about Kathy is she was designed for success. She was designed to be the best. And that's something that I've always been proud of her, and I've always supported her. It's just like when her doctorate, I knew she was going to get it. Even eventually she was going to get it, because even then, when we were young, before we had children, I was trying to push her to get her master and her doctorate degree before. But life takes us. Life happens and things happen. But I knew she was going to get it regardless, and she got her doctorate. And when she got her doctorate I was so proud to see that, because that is something that you want the best for the person that is like that angel in your life. That she is like the angel in my life, and she's always brought sunshine to my life. Even when things were bad, she was always there. Even when I was going through crazy stuff in other relationships, like she was going through stuff in her relationships when we were friends, and then back then I was dealing with some crazy stuff back then, and no matter what, we always talk about it. So, but yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Happy 25th anniversary to Mario and Kathy. You know the vibes. I'm just excited. I can't wait for y'all to. I can't wait to her. I can't even talk. I can't wait till she gets her edible arrangement today and tomorrow, and when she receives her Pandora bracelet. I hope I know y'all gonna have an amazing time tonight.
Right.
Y'all go out to dinner, so that's amazing in itself. But yeah, Mario, let the people know how they can get in contact with you, man.
If you're trying to get in contact with me, the best thing I can tell you is if you Google DC2DW, DC2DW, excuse me, all my information comes up. But if you're looking to get contact me directly, you can reach me at 910-261-1518. And then also, if you want to email me, my email is dc2dw.ceo@outlook.com.
All right, do the email part for me one more time.
The email, once again, is dc2dw.ceo@outlook.com.
All right. Boom, I got it. Got everything in the comment section right here. This is a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? His 25th anniversary. So I love it. You know what I'm saying? And y'all already know we'll be back next Tuesday, so it's Why Not Us. I thank you for always being consistent with me, Mario, always coming up here teaching me something new. So I'm very grateful for you. And yeah.
I am grateful for you, and I love being part of your online team on your podcast. This has become I look forward to this every Tuesday morning. So
that's what it is.
I'm grateful for you, and then like I said, I want to say thank you as well for allowing me to be a part of it.
Yeah, you already know the vibes, man. I got to have Mario. I mean, you are a good human. So I love being around people. They're good people. So you're a good person, and I love it. And yeah, you my friend. So that's a whole vibe, man. So that's what it is, man. You just gotta let people know that you appreciate them, and you just gotta understand that you just got to be appreciated. You appreciate people. That's all, man. Right. You got to, you just can't take people for granted.
There you go.
So that's the whole vibe right there. So once again, this is Why Not Us podcast. Y'all know I got to play my outro. I love my outro. Just listen to the words because it's the truth. So once again, this is Why Not Us podcast. We do this every Tuesday. Life of a DJ entertainer with DJ Freaky Ragtop. Let's go.
You can be what you wanna be. See what you wanna see. Go where you wanna go. Oh. Why not? Why not us? Why not us? Why not? Why not? Why not us with kids? Why Not Us podcast with Ken J.